Okay, so our objective of this lecture is to determine the stability of the metal ions in water. So I have written over here, this is the at the standard conditions. Standard condition mean when all the metal ion concentration are unit concentration, and there is the 25 degrees centigrade temperature, and if they are the gases it is a 1 atmosphere pressure. These are considered as the standard conditions. So first, if you actually learn the standard condition properly, then you will be able to find the stability at the non-standard conditions, because non-standard conditions are most important, because actually we are working with the non-standard conditions always in our laboratory. So what is the objective? Objective is written over here. How can you predict the stability of any metal and metal ion? This is one of the example. Again, the way of teaching is you can pick any of the half cell published anywhere in the world, and you can do the similar things. So this is actually the learning of the proper content. Otherwise, this is just the memorization of the concept, and I hate this one. So this is the how can you determine the stability of the metal or the metal ions in water. And in vice versa, you can say if these metal ions are stable in water, you can say the water is also stable in the presence of these metal ions. Or in vice versa, you can say if these metal or the metal ions are unstable in water, that means water is also unstable in the presence of the metal or the metal ion. So what does it mean stability? That means they will remain in these form, so that's why they are stable. What does it mean the instability? That means now they are going to react with the water, so that's why they will be unstable. That means the metal ions will be unstable, and of course the water will also be unstable in the presence of all these together. So this is another question you may ask, because you are forming as a chemist, you prepare the aqueous solution. So how can you say that either the one of the metal ions form the aqueous solution? So what does it mean? And we are giving you the reason out of the electrochemistry. So these are the first the objective. Now again I am starting with the very simple way. This is one of the way we have already discussed before, and one of you has described, but here this is this way of reaction is not possible because both are in the oxidized form. And if you have a look, some of you answered that it is written in this form. All half cells are written in this form. So this is the reduction potential. When it is the reduction potential, all half cell are written in this form. That means these are the oxidized form, and these must be the reduced form at the right hand side of the arrow. And electron must be over here because this is the oxidized form. So all half cells are written in VA. So this is not the answer. This is going to reduce. This is the way of writing this half cell. So this is not our question over here. Again, this way is not possible because both are the oxidized form. And this way is also not possible because these two are the reduced form. So this is not going to happen. Again, this is cancelled out. So now again, I am asking first, if you need any clarification, must watch the previous video very carefully, because this is, I'm not going to repeat again and again, and because we are moving towards the higher content and to learn the more complicated topics. So it's not to carry the basic information always with you. So now what are the possible way? Again, this may be one of the possible way, and this may be one of the possible way, and we have in detail discussed in the previous lectures, that one way is spontaneous and the other way is the non-spontaneous. So if I ask, this is the this line I have marked over here. whether this is the spontaneous way or the non-spontaneous way. Can any one of you answer?
Sir, can I?
It is the non-spontaneous because this potential is less, this potential is more. So always more potential is going to be in towards the this direction, and the less will going to be oxidized. So this is going to reduce, this will oxidize. So the only possible way is the this one. So this is the spontaneous way. That means these are the reactant. Again, you have to multiply by 2 to balance the equation first, and then you can write the overall reaction. So this is the spontaneous way of the reaction. That means in other way, this will be the non-spontaneous. So if you can compare this was our the first half cell of water, and now I'm going to use the second half cell. Let's suppose I'm putting over here. So this may be better to understand. So now if I ask, how can you compare the stability with this half cell? Again, I am first marking this is not possible, this is not possible, this is the one way, and this is the another way, and okay, blue, and this is so if I again ask what are the possible way for which one the way is spontaneous and which one is the non-spontaneous. So now this is the here I'm removing this one. This is the spontaneous way, and because the reduction potential of copper is more, and this should reduce, and ultimately this has to be oxidized because this is having the less potential. So this is the spontaneous way, and you can say this would be the non-spontaneous way. So again, if one way is a spontaneous, other way must also be a non-spontaneous. So coming to the point, now if you have learned these points, you will learn the rest of the lecture over here. So now I'm repeating, let's start with the only the copper metals, because first decide the stability of the copper ion, and what would be the stability of the copper plus 2 ion in water, or you can say either copper plus 2 ion in water is stable. If it is stable, then of course the water will also be stable. Okay, so if it is stable in water, that means the copper will form the aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means when you form the aqueous solution, that means the metal ions remain in the metal ions and they are surrounded with the hydration process. So this is called the formation of the aqueous solution. Dissolution of the, let's suppose the sodium chloride in water. So sodium and chloride dissolve in water and remain in the form of the sodium ion and the chloride ion. So that means sodium chloride form the aqueous solution. So this is one of the practical example you are going to use in your life. And in a similar way, if the copper ion remains as a copper ion in water, that means it will form the aqueous solution, and it will be the stable in water, and the water will be stable in the presence of the copper ion. If this is happening, now we are going to answer over here whether this statement is true or not. That means either the copper ion are stable in water or the copper ion are unstable in water. So just to streamline this concept, again I'm asking which half cell would you consider for this question. So again, actually, now you are actually going to apply the previous knowledge over here, and first to check which half cell is more appropriate to be considered to discuss the stability of the copper ion. So this is the question. In a similar way, anything that means anything written over the left hand side and which is always in the oxidized form, you have to treat in a similar way, which I am going to explain over here. So some of you have talked about, so there are the two halves. This is the one water I have marked over here, and this is the another water in case of the half cell of the water. So again, one is blue, one is the orange or the yellow, whatever is the color. So this is the possible way for this copper to react with the water. Again, consider we don't have the oxygen. No, we are not considering which one is the possible way. So this is not the question. The question is either this copper is going to react with the water and water is this side and water is here. These are the two water half cells, and this copper has to react with the water over here or the water over here. Now we are going to consider either this is the which one is having a possibility to react with the water. Which one would be the possibility? This option is not possible because both are in the oxidized form, so these are not going to react together. So this is out of the question. So the only way is this copper ion may react. I am using the word may. So may have the both option. One is the spontaneous, other one is the non-spontaneous, as we have discussed before. So this is the only option. So that means for all the cations or all the oxidized form which are written on the left hand side of the half cell must be considered with this half cell of the water. Now we are going to conclude over here. Either this is the possible way, either this is going to react with, really it is going to react with the water or not. What would be your answer? So this is not going to react with this, and this was the out of the question. There is only one option is left, and again, because the reduction potential of copper is less as compared to this one, this is the non-spontaneous way. This may be, but this is the non-spontaneous way. And here we are considering only the spontaneous way. That means you are going to dissolve the copper ions into the water and see what is happening. So now I'm going to conclude. That means copper ion in the presence of the water are not going to react with the water. That means these are not going to reduce to the copper metal. Water is not going to oxidize. So what is the answer of this question? That means the copper ion are stable in water, and you can say the water is also stable in the presence of the copper ion, or you can say copper will form the aqueous solution. So this is the answer of this question. So now I am moving, before ending the lecture, I am just concluding with the second stability of the copper metal in a similar way. If you have understood, then it is easier for you to conclude the stability. So again, this is the metal. This is one of again, the water is having only the two options. And the second one is this again in a similar way. So I'm marking with the, so again it has the two options, one to react with this water, one to react with this water. So because in your solution there is only water, there is no hydrogen, there is no hydroxyl ion, there is no oxygen over there, there is only the water. That's why we are considering the water. So which way is the impossible and which way is the possible way? So this is the impossible because both are in the reduced form. These two cannot react to each other. So this is the only way. The copper metal may react with the water. So I am using again the word may mean it is the spontaneous or may be the non-spontaneous. And we are here for the prediction of the stability. We are looking for the spontaneous way, whether this is the spontaneous or the non-spontaneous. So again, if you look at the potential, this is having more potential, this is having less potential. So that means now the copper is going to, this is saying copper will oxidize and this will reduce, but this will not happen because this is the less potential, this is the more potential. If you consider this as at the cathode, this minus this will be, answer will be in minus. That means this reaction will be the non-spontaneous reaction. So the copper metal will be stable in water, or you can say the water will be stable in the presence of the copper, Or you can say, no, this is out of the question to form the aqueous solution, because this is the only terms we will use for the metal ions. So we are not going to consider with the aqueous solution of the copper metal. So this is our your answer over here. So in concluding, now always remember this half cell must be at the anode, because this is only one option. This may oxidize, so when it is oxidized it will be considered at the anode. And this is also having only one option. If you consider this half cell, it must be at the cathode, whether the reaction will occur or not, whether it is spontaneous or the non-spontaneous. So this is the our today lecture.